And the light's actually super soft. I'm gonna try to get a shot before the sun comes back out. So we're gonna go look for a place just to grab like an iced coffee. I didn't really mention this, but Destiny sews her own stuff. So you mean like you're about to like almost hand it to me? Okay. So I'm just packing right now for a big trip I've got planned tomorrow. I'm gonna be doing a shoot that's gonna last all day long. Just kind of like doing some fashion photography, shooting with the 28, the 35, the 50 in Eureka Springs, Arkansas. It's kind of an older, really mountainous, very historic town. And it's super beautiful and it works well for like Western themes, Southern themes. So I'll be trying to hit on some of that stuff. I'll be doing all of that with the Nikon ZF. The lens that's on there right now is the 28mm 2.8, much smaller, more compact. Again, I know it's kind of a hot camera right now, so I'm excited to share my experience with it. And I've also been a Nikon shooter historically, not because of like any super strong reason, it's just what I've always used. So I'll try to give some comparisons to the Z6 II, the Z5. Yeah, I'm super excited. We'll be doing a big fashion shoot. That's probably one of the biggest strengths of this camera is as a fashion photography camera, particularly, you know, with this 28mm lens. I think this is super disarming. Yeah, more to come soon on all that. Kids are dropped off. It's just me and Destiny. We're just at the filling station right now, which is a kind of like lunch breakfast spot. I'm just gonna do a quick little shot right here at the filling station. All right, so we just got to Eureka Springs downtown. Destiny's getting dressed and I'm just kind of packing out my gear. The biggest challenge right now is that it's getting close to noon. It's gonna be a really sunny day with a lot of top-down lighting. I'm gonna try and stay until about sunset and then we'll get some obviously good shots then with the lighting being a lot more soft and directional. My tactic for today is I'm just gonna try to do a lot of backlighting. We're gonna work with it and see if we can get some good stuff with the Nikon ZF. All right, Destiny's got her outfit picked out. We'll just do a little test shot. Yeah, like I said, the light's gonna be a challenge today. Step back in the light real quick. I'll be having to shoot in this kind of way a lot. I think we can work with that. So this composition's a little bit obvious, but it's worth a try. All right, put 1 foot forward a little bit. And then I'll do some wide too. Just walk towards me. Okay. Shoulder a little bit towards me a little bit. There you go. So we're gonna go look for a place just to grab like an iced coffee. Something in the hand might be useful for Destiny. So far so good, as long as we're shooting, it's actually before noon, so as long as we're shooting towards the east, we're getting pretty backlit. And I think that's gonna work. Kind of a cool little overhead shot.
I walked through a spider web.
This is kind of a cool spot. Let me grab my lens cap.
If my purse is in here.
Can you look forward a tiny bit? A little bit more. Yeah, there we go. All right, look back, walk back towards me. Just like walk up. Now turn back around and walk back down. Look back. Now look kind of down a little bit. There you go. All right. This is a condemned building, but I really like this kind of overgrown area with the stairs. But just like pretend to put on some lipstick or something. You don't actually even be putting it on. Yeah, keep walking. I'm gonna try not to do this all day, but I really like this as well. I feel like that's super cool. I'm just gonna frame it completely square. We want to get a shot of Destiny in front of the trolley. Okay, it's about to happen. I'll try to get it. All right, step back a little bit. It's not, what I wanted was more flat with the trolley in the background. This lens wasn't wide enough to get that, but
Next time.
we'll keep an eye out. A shot that's kind of with the trolley square in the background or even taking up the whole wide frame. I don't know if I'll be able to get that shot, but I'm looking for it today if I can get it. And the light's actually super soft. I'm gonna try to get a shot before the sun comes back out. Not all the way towards me, just like 45 degrees. Yeah, there we go. I think that's good. There's like some steam coming out right there, which I kind of like. Can you lean over the rail a little bit and look down? Okay, walk down all the way to that first flat, and then start walking back up.
Glasses, no glasses.
Take glasses off for this one. Stop there. Look back behind you a little bit. Other way. Then look back at me. Actually, look back that way one more time. Yeah, shoulder towards me and then look back. I'm going to... It's a good thing I have the 28. Yes, glasses off. So we've been shooting for a few hours and I think everything's going pretty well. The light is definitely a challenge. Very overhead light, very bright, contrasty. So I've just been trying to backlight everything and that's kind of working. We're just grabbing a coffee right now, taking a little bit of a break and cooling off. It's pretty hot today. We're gonna go take a look at the shots, see how those came out. And the other thing is, because I've been trying to shoot with the Action 4 doing point of view, I've been trying to shoot off just the back LCD. And normally when it's this bright out, I would be shooting through the viewfinder. I'm not able to see exactly as well as I normally would if I wasn't doing the point of view. I still think the shots are coming out pretty good. I think we're getting some good stuff, so. So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to an antique store or two. I am gonna just go ahead and get set back up to do more photos in case there's anything interesting on the way. Destiny has some antique stores picked out. There's a spot across the street over here that I'm interested in, so we're gonna go check that out real quick and then go to a couple stores. Well, this is the spot that I was talking about. I thought it'd be cool to get Destiny leaning over the rail and then a shot kind of like from here, but that's actually just a private patio, so yeah. Stop there. Why don't you angle a little bit this way and then look back at me. I'm actually gonna go landscape on this frame. Okay. Maybe turn your shoulder towards me a little bit. All right, you can come. Now turn around and look at me. Okay. Yeah. And stop right there. And like grab the rail and like lean forward towards me. Like lean like you're about to like almost hand it to me. Okay. I'll take a very similar shot using the same camera with the 28mm, the 35mm, and then the 50mm. So you'll kind of see the difference in the compression and the way everything looks. And I'll do all three of those at 2.8. Okay, so first I'm gonna do the 28mm lens on here. If you can back up to like just under that sign, I'll use that for continuity. And we can let these people clear out. Yeah, we can let everyone clear out. All right, you're good. Actually, stand one post back. I'm trying to frame this so I'll be able to get this a similar frame with all three lenses. I'm on the 28 right now. I'll try to get her just in the thirds lines. Again, these shots are not going to be amazing. So I've actually got the 28mm on the Z6 II, and I just put the 35 on the ZF. So I'll try to get a similar shot. So I'm trying to place her about in the 2/3 lines. Again, it's kind of hard with the, we're just shooting off the back LCD, but we'll get a feel for it. Now I've got the 50mm 1.8 on the ZF, and I'm putting that on f2.8, which is perfect. Now go back to that same post again, one post back. And of course this is 50mm, so I'm gonna have to stand a lot farther back to get that same frame. About right there. And yeah, I can already just tell looking at the back LCD, it's a lot more compression. Okay, so we'll see how those shots look in post, but essentially, I was just trying to get Destiny to fit in the 2/3 lines on all three of those shots. So it really should be the background that's changing, because I'm obviously moving farther back for the 35 to get her in the same frame. And then I'm moving farther back with the 50 even then to get her in the frame. So it should create more compression as you go up in the focal lengths. And if you're doing a full body shot, that effectively changes like how big is that building in the background. The 50mm should make the building look a lot bigger, and the 28mm should make the building look a lot smaller in the background. So that's the main difference that I kind of tell when I'm using those different lenses. That and the fact that you have to physically back up with the 50 to get that to get that full body shot. So we'll see how that looks. Again, not the best shots in the world, just kind of a focal length test. I think we're gonna go find some food. And then Destiny's gonna change into a different outfit. We'll probably come back downtown in a little bit and then get that kind of sunset shot before we head back to Fayetteville. By the way, this is the second outfit. Second outfit is red, which I actually like better for like the red versus green, or like the pinkish red versus green. I think makes a nice contrast. I like this area for photography because I kind of feel like that it lends itself really well to like Western themes or Southern themes, or like vintage kind of pin-up type stuff. So again, it's really kind of just a cool place to come for photography. We're here at the Horseshoe Grill. We'll go ahead and eat kind of heavier, and then we're actually just gonna probably go back downtown, and then we'll shoot through dinner time as it's getting kind of like 6, 7 o'clock, and then we'll just kind of head back to Fayetteville after that, I think is the plan.
They have the Nashville style fried chicken, which I mentioned, but they also have like sandwiches in there.
And yeah, that's good. Just bring closer like that. Alright guys, so this video is already getting really long and I still have a lot of footage to get through. Actually, some of the best shots that I got are in the footage I haven't gotten to yet. So I think what I'm going to do is I'll go ahead and just cut this off as the part 1, And then I'll be working on and releasing that part 2 in the next couple weeks here. So before I close this video out, I do want to talk about the camera itself, the Nikon ZF. I realize I haven't talked about the camera very much in the video, so what I'll do is just rapid fire go through some of the hot talking points about this camera. Now, right off the bat, I'll just get the ergonomics out of the way. I keep this small rig grip on here all the time, basically, and I mostly shoot small primes. Those 1.8s are a little bit bigger, but they're not huge by any means. So your experience may vary from mine if you shoot like a 70 to 200, 2.8 zoom. But in my experience, the ergonomics of this camera are totally fine. It's a really fun camera to handle. I can shoot with it all day comfortably. Now, obviously, if you pick this up next to just a more modern mirrorless camera, a full-size grip, and the more modern controls, that's a little more comfy and natural, and this is a little more like funky and fun. So it's just a different vibe and everything, but I don't think that's the most important feature of this camera at all, and I wouldn't overthink it. If you're really worried about it, maybe just go to a local shop and try it out for yourself. Again, I don't think that's the most important feature at all. All right, let's talk about performance real quick. Now, this camera could 100% be used for like professional sports, action, wildlife. I think it'd be a very funny choice for that, but you could totally get away with it just from the raw autofocus performance and the continuous shooting rate. I mean, you could get away with it for sure. That's actually one of the biggest things, is the autofocus to me. The other big thing is the video specs. So in terms of autofocus, I haven't shot with Canon or Sony cameras since the mirrorless era has started especially. I can't imagine that the Sony or the Canon cameras are much better than this. If they are, then I don't know what would even be better, because this just does what I want it to do almost all the time. As soon as I learned how to use the autofocus system, I've had, very few missed shots. This thing is super easy and intuitive for me to use. The autofocus is super reliable, works really well, and if it's not doing what I want, I can just override it. So the video features on this camera are nothing too crazy, but they are a big improvement for me over the Z6 II. Particularly, this camera has no recording limit. The Z6 II has a 30-minute recording limit. If this one has it, I don't even know what it is. To me, the recording limit is the SD card's space. The autofocus in this thing is really good for video. It's a huge improvement over the Z6 II. It tracks your eye, it doesn't get confused, it just knows what it's doing much better. One thing that this camera does that's kind of a big deal to me, and if you come from other camera systems, you may not care about this very much because you just already had it, but this shoots log footage instead of just internally recorded picture profiles. Having that combination of no recording limit, having the log footage, and having the more reliable autofocus, all those things combined make this a really competent video camera that I can use as my A camera for all my video. And that video and autofocus and just overall performance increase was really the reason I could justify buying this camera when I already had a Z6 II. Probably the biggest positive of this camera is just how good the performance is, and at this price point, I don't think there's a lot to complain about there. Now, there's a lot of like little technical things that I could go into, like, where the card slot is, and it has the full battery and the full size SD and the micro SD, like all that stuff. I don't want to cover everything like that here. The feature I do want to talk about, which is hard to explain, it's kind of intangible. This camera is a lot of fun. It's something that makes me want to bring it with me. It makes me want to take it out of the bag when it is with me and turn it on and get pictures and interact with it. It's hard to explain why. There is something about it it's just fun. It feels nice to pick it up. It makes me feel inspired to go be more artistic or creative. Now, that's just my experience, and it's very subjective. I know this video's been all over the place, so thank you so much for sticking with me if you're still here. I'll be working on that part 2 where we get closer to the sunset shots, and I'll be putting that out in the next couple weeks, so stay tuned. And if you found any value in this, please just give me a like and a subscribe. That's the main thing you can do to help support me right now.